Dear friends from the Structured Dialogue in Kenya. We are here now for our second webinar, the regional webinar for the African Initiative. Today is November 11, and we have some exciting news to share, some follow-up activities, and we have some requests from you, and you will have the opportunity to update us in whatever you are doing, so that we can move collectively forward. So if it's okay with everybody, I would like to start with a presentation, and after that we can engage in some discussions and answering questions, whatever is needed. So we have prepared a presentation for this purpose, and let me begin. So the first exciting thing that we want to share with you is that, as many of you should know, we have the regional action groups grants, and we have out a call for proposal, and the deadline is approaching. So it's important for all of you to consider writing an application for actions that you would like to suggest, actions that promote good governance and social political development, and of course it's good for you to ground them on actions that we discovered collectively in our African collaboratory as being very influential. Actions that we give priority to are those that encourage and support dialogue and the use of ICT with the purpose always to promote governance and cooperation, the freedom of speech, protection of human rights, active participation in the democratic processes, gender empowerment, and equality and social transformation, among other things. You are, of course, welcome to also suggest other things. Okay, let's move to the other slide. The overall objective of the Action Group grant is to support the youth of the African Initiative to develop their own projects. You are supposed to support, promote democratic transformation by reinventing the current system of governance. That's the whole idea. Now let me remind you about the eligibility criteria. You cannot submit an application by yourself. We need at least three of you to collaborate in developing an action plan, an action application. The action plan must be based on one or more of the actions that came out in the map as very influential. You don't have to choose actions that are straight at the bottom of the map. You can also choose actions that are a little bit higher. But of course, we strongly encourage you not to choose actions that the collective wisdom of the participants put them at the top of the tree. It would be great if you manage to engage your shadow participants. Go for 3 or 4 months so that we have time to do a good job. Let me remind you of possible activities. It includes this, but it's not only this. You can also come up with something completely new. Social media and advocacy campaigns, interactive platforms, capacity building trainings, online journals, magazines or books, educational activities for youth, youth forums, public events such as panel discussions, fairs and festivals. Now, how to apply? You need to get from Maria the registration form, and you need to write a concept note. We have a link for the registration form in the call which we send you. The concept note must not exceed 2 pages. So we are keeping it simple. In the first section, maximum 1 page, you need to describe the action. This action should describe the challenge that needs to be addressed and how the proposed actions would contribute to the solution of this challenge. The section 2, you're going to write down objectives, activities, and of course the budget breakdown. In this section, you should state clearly the objectives of your action, describe the activities that you're going to do and the resources that you need and the methodologies that you will use. The timeline now. Now the deadline is approaching. That's why we're having this webinar today, to give you the final notice and the reminder. The deadline is the 13th of November. And we need to have the applications so that we choose the winner by the 29th of November. Now, I don't know if I have told you, but we have one action grant per region. That means that unfortunately for the African region, we will have only one winner. I'm saying that not to discourage you, because we really need your applications. It doesn't mean that if you don't win, your project will not be materialized. If we see that there is interest and there are good projects, we will try to find alternative means of funding them. So please be serious and put your applications on. The implementation period can begin immediately, now in December or a bit later, but it should finish by March or April 2017. You have to submit them to Maria. Here is her email, maria.georgiou@futureworldcenter.org. So that's it for the action plans. Now let us move to a new project that we are preparing. We're preparing a new action to promote electronic voting, and we would like to engage as many of you as possible. But to do that, we need each country or each region, if you are many, for example, from, let's say, Kenya, to form an association of individuals and organizations who are interested in reinventing democracy. So what we're asking you to do is to launch a new association in which you will allow both individuals and organizations to be members. So all of you who have participated in the dialogues, your shadow participants can be your first members, and your organizations can be the first members, but you can also invite other organizations to be members. This new association doesn't need to be formalized now and registered. We can keep things simple for the time being. You can write a gentleman's agreement or the rules of operation so that you can begin the structuring of this association. But you need to have some application procedure and some even symbolic fee so that we have real members. And we would like then these associations to be associate partners in an application that Maria Georgiou is preparing for the European Commission, in which we will study and promote the idea of electronic voting and crowd participation in elections. So all these associations will be members, so to say, of a global network that will have its base here in Cyprus. So please talk to me personally on Skype anytime to help you form these associations as soon as possible. We will send you some ideas for the white paper that you could use for setting up this association. Now, the other thing is mentorship, chapters, and local activities. We would like each one of you to send at least one paragraph or one paragraph per one of these issues, the mentor, the chapter, the activities that you have been organizing, to Maria. Please send this paragraph to Maria as soon as possible, reporting whether you had a meeting with your mentor and maybe some key words that came up and something that you have benefited from. We need to know the state of your chapters. I know that many of you have already written wonderful things, and I know that are being edited, but some of you have not yet. So I would encourage everyone to send their chapters. And we would also like to know if you have organized any other activities. If you did, we need to have them so that we can also report them, and everybody in the world will know what you are doing. But you should also add them in your page on the future, on the Reinventing Democracy Wiki. The other subject that we would like to remind you, or those of you who have not done it yet, is that we want every one of you to run a virtual structured democratic dialogue with your shadow participants. So please engage your shadow participants. You may start 2 dialogues like we did when we were together physically, one for obstacles and one for actions. Please start it on Idea Prism so that we can also see when you create your dialogues. Make Maria and me facilitators so we can also see the progress of these dialogues. We are very much excited about seeing your shadow participants contributing their own ideas. This is their channel to the world. So please don't deprive them from this opportunity. Get them on board, create your dialogue on Idea Prism and invite them through their email and help them to submit 2-3 ideas, and then open the dialogue for some kind of voting so that all of them can vote for the feasibility, for the desirability, for the impact of these ideas, so that we can get more excitement and spread it around the countries. So guys, that was all from me. We will turn the recording off now so that we can freely and openly discuss our matters. This recording will be available on YouTube, so you can continue and watch this webinar again if you need reminders. And let us use the remaining of the time for questions and discussion about our future activities. Thank you all very much from me and from Maria.